Hi there, and welcome to the Micro But Mighty Business Podcast with the Columbus Chamber. I am your host, Abiona Harper, and in today's podcast, we'll be speaking with Shola Adebuga, owner and publisher of Exceptional Youth Magazine, a magazine specifically for underserved youth in the United States and abroad. Shola's publication features content and stories that addresses the unique challenges and aspirations of underserved youth, allowing them a space for curiosity and to also speak about community projects or initiatives that they launched. Please help me welcome to the podcast Ms. Shola Adebuga. Hi, Shola. Welcome to the Micro But Mighty Business Podcast with the Columbus Chamber.
Thank you for having me, Abiona. It's an honor to be here.
Absolutely. So glad to have you. So let's just jump right in. Can you tell the listeners what was the driving force behind starting a magazine specifically for underserved youth in the United States and abroad?
First and foremost, my mission lies in sharing all that I possess with people through my words, deeds, and needs. And I want to leave this world better than I met it. So back to when I was a teenager, I started writing as a child. And during my teenage years, I usually take a trip to media houses to submit my articles for them to publish them. And every edition, publication date, I always run to the newsstand because back in the days, there were no computers or internet. So I would run to the newsstand to see if my articles were published in those magazines. And getting over there and seeing my articles in those magazines give me joy. Like, it's always like I always felt out of this world. Like, I felt accomplished every time I go to the newsstand and I saw my name published in one of those magazines. And then I was like, wow, if I could feel this empowered seeing my publications, my articles in newspapers and magazines, I would like to create a platform for teenagers when I grow up. I was a teenager then. So now that I've grown up, I put that magazine out, and it's been the best project I've ever worked on, pretty much.
Your writing began abroad. Is that what I'm hearing? Is that correct? Okay.
Correct.
And so that was where?
In Lagos, Nigeria.
In Nigeria. Okay. And how old were you when your first article was published?
I was 13 years old.
Exciting. And that just started something that started the chase. And so
Yes.
you wanted to do that. And so how did that transpire into you coming to the United States and starting a publication?
Okay, when I was growing up, I felt, okay, I would like to be a magazine publisher to create an awareness around issues affecting teenagers. That was back in the days. And I tried doing that in Nigeria, but it was kind of like difficult as a teenager then. So when I moved over here, I've lost count. I moved over here 2003. So my father fought for us to come here to study because I love education so much. And he felt I was going to be the next Oprah because I was kind of like going in Oprah steps. So our father fought for us and brought us here, and which was Ohio State. He used to live in New York, but he moved here because we are 4 girls and he wanted to give us a better environment to grow up. So he moved here to Ohio and I moved here, and I didn't really like it at first because I was into modeling in Nigeria and I felt, wow, there's nothing for me here. And I was thinking, I would love to live in New York. But visiting New York wasn't it for me. I didn't like it. And I came back here and Ohio felt like home, and I haven't left ever since. And when I came here, that was when I was like, okay, now is the time to do the magazine. And I visited some schools like Chillicothe Middle School, Chillicothe High School. Some schools were calling me to come speak, like speaking engagement about teen empowerment. And that was when the idea came back again, like, okay, you need to push this out. There are a lot of teenagers telling me stories about how they were struggling, and I feel I can't be there to speak with each and every one of them. But with a magazine, I'll be able to reach them. And that was when I embarked on the magazine publishing.
Okay, beautiful. And I like that you grew to love the Buckeye State.
Yes, it's my home.
Absolutely. So now let's just take a pivot and talk about how you position the content and stories featured in your magazine differently than other publications, and what impact do you hope they have on your readers?
Every edition is properly taught and designed to meet every teenager at every point of need. The goal is every reader that picks up the magazine, I want them to feel empowered and feel like whatever situation they are going through, they can conquer it and become informed to make the next decision they need to make regarding the issues they were facing the moment they picked up the magazine.
Now, your current magazine, Exceptional Teen, is it in circulation in Nigeria and in the United States, or just in the United States?
It was started in the United States, and I extended some of it back to Nigeria.
How do you stay on mission with your magazine addressing the unique challenges and aspirations of the underserved youth?
I listen to every youth wherever I go. Everywhere I go, my eyes are always like, "Oh, how old are you? You look so young." And we start a conversation. So everywhere I go, I try to engage teenagers. I try to be available, give them the resources like my business card to reach me anytime they want, text me, email me anytime. So everywhere I go, I try to engage teenagers and bring them on board to become informed citizens and eventually adults.
Absolutely. I think that we align in that I have a passion for the youth as well.
Yes.
What would you say are maybe two of the most problematic or two of the biggest challenges our teens are facing today, whether they be here in the States or abroad?
Well, one of them is lack of resources for some, and two, the effect of social media too. Like, some that I've spoken to, they need someone to talk to, but they don't have them. Their parents are either busy working, or some of their parents are not there with them, and they turn to social media, they turn to their friends, and sometimes the peer pressure push them into doing what they're not supposed to do. And that's one of the things we want to change with the magazine.
Absolutely. Speaking to that, we have phones and social media and peers raising our children, so it leads to the blind leading the blind, as
Yes.
opposed to really leaning back into those voices of maturity and wisdom.
Yes, correct.
You had mentioned resources as another one of the challenges that the youth are facing. What types of resources particularly are you speaking of?
I'm speaking of educational resources and social resources as well. In the educational aspect, like, not all schools are equal. We all know that. And I see this world as a place where each and every one of us should have equal access to opportunities and resources, so each and every one of us can thrive together.
Agreed. Removing those socioeconomic barriers to create equality across all youth would be tremendous. Let's talk a bit about what I like to call failing forward. And you'll hear me say this in each podcast. I am a firm believer that failure is only final if you choose to give up. Each failure, mistake, setback, obstacle, hiccup, or challenge that we encounter should be looked at as an opportunity to become wiser, stronger, resilient even. What have been some of the biggest challenges in reaching and effectively engaging with underserved youth through your magazine?
The biggest challenge so far, well, there are two challenges. The first one is resources, like the funding to get the magazine to every corner where we have teenagers. And the second biggest one is having access to the juvenile prison, because there's a column in the magazine called Teens Behind Bars, and that column was specially created to give the teenagers an insight about what the prison system looks like. Like, it's not so pretty like the media portrays it in movies. So the column is pretty much created to have teens locked behind bars to write about their experiences, what led them to prison, what they've learned so far, and what they would have done differently if they have their second chance. So the teenagers out here, when they pick up that magazine and read the column and feel like, oh, wow, I'm going towards this path. I don't want to end up like this person. I need to take some steps back and retrace my steps. So that column requires us to be able to get into the prison system to speak with the teenagers over there, to encourage them to share their stories with the teens out here. So that's one of the challenges we are trying to overcome, to have access to teenagers locked behind bars to share their stories.
Absolutely. It's not somewhere that you want to be. And I agree that the media and the movies will portray it to be something that's somewhat glamorous or really not as raw and unpleasant as it truly is. So I love that you're putting a framework around that and providing a transparent perspective of that experience.
And next year, we are hosting Exceptional Teens Empowerment Expo, which would involve a 2-day event involving mentors, students, teachers, everyone that loves to empower these teenagers and our future leaders.
Absolutely, because that is exactly who they are, our future leaders.
Yes.
Shola, can you tell listeners how to stay connected and follow along on your journey and how to get in touch with you?
Yes, you can follow us on Exceptional Teen Magazine on Instagram and on Twitter and on Facebook. And if any teenager is listening to me right now, they can connect with me. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Shola, thank you for your time on this episode. And we look forward to the bright future for Exceptional Teen Magazine and your team. We look forward to that summit coming in 2025. And we wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of Micro But Mighty Business Podcast with the Columbus Chamber. We hope the stories shared and insights gained have inspired you to reflect on your own path and the endless possibilities that lie ahead. Remember, every entrepreneur's journey is marked by moments of challenge and triumph, and it's the lessons learned along the way that pave the road to success. Keep pushing boundaries. Stay committed to your vision and never stop dreaming big. Until next time, keep nurturing your entrepreneurial spirit and watch as your business grows from strength to strength. You can connect with the Columbus Chamber online at columbus.org, and you can reach me, your host, Abiona Harper, on LinkedIn. Farewell, and here's to your continued success in the world of entrepreneurship. Cheers.